Coding Club.
Yay! I'm now a coding pro.
Yes, indeed, you are now a coding pro. Now, as you can see on our screen, today's segment we are going to look at something very interesting. What we are going to do is that we are going to put this our animation car into a particular concept. When I say a particular concept, what I'm trying to say is this. Now, as you can see on your screen, you can see that we have some car here. So today we want to turn this animation car into a game. Okay, as I told you, this is going to be a whole series, so that we are going to then create an art, so that any art that indeed we then imagine in our head, we can equally bring it to life, because indeed we are young coders and I love you guys. Okay, now as I love you guys, let's continue. Now today's segment, what we are going to focus on is that we are going to just go ahead and then we want to create a ball here. Okay, this is my paint, so I just selected my circle. So we are creating a ball here. Okay, a ball here, and the color of that ball is going to be blue. Okay, let me just fill it with color blue. Okay, color blue kind of here, and I'll select fill with color and come and click on blue. Now the ball is going to be color blue, and the whole concept is that now when the car, okay, when the car is coming and the ball is coming, when we press any key on the keyboard, the car will jump over what? Will jump over the what? The ball. Okay, so as I told you that we are creating a whole concept that when the car hits what? The ball, there's going to be game over. Now this is going to be, I'm going to cover this in our next lesson, but for now, today we are going to now animate the car and then create a ball. The ball will be rolling from the right to left. So when the ball is rolling, when we press any key, the car will jump over the what? The ball. That is the whole concept we will be looking at today. If you are happy, then let's dive straight to today's lesson. Okay, welcome back. Now if you could see, this is what we did in our previous lesson. And if you are new here in our Armstrong Coding Club or Armstrong Computers channel, so far as Armstrong Coding Club segment is concerned, you can just click on the link here, okay, and then take a recap of what we learned in our previous lesson, or I believe in the link in the description where you can just go and take a recap of what we learned in our previous lesson by animating this car moving from left to right. Okay, now after we are done with this, we are going to do some couple of changes, and the changes we are going to do, you see that we talk about the ball, so we are going to bring a ball here. Okay, so to do that, let's come to our text editor. Now we are in our text editor. What I'd like you guys to do is that scroll down, and when we scroll down, you can see that we brought a div container which is known as road in our previous lesson. Now we want the ball should be rolling on the what? On the road. So we put the cursor on what? At the end of the car. We can see that all this div container is for the car. So put the cursor at the end of the car, as you can see, and press enter. Now when you press enter, I'd like you to bring the next div container that is going to do what? That is going to control the ball. So it's going to be div, and we are going to give it a class, and the class is going to be ball. Okay, now having taken that from the way, the next thing we are going to do, we are going to animate the ball in the what? In the CSS. So for us to do that, screw up, and here, as you can see here in your CSS here, put the cursor here after the keyframe here and press enter. Then you go by saying .ball. Bring your current bracket. Then now we want the ball, we want to position it. Okay, we want the position of the ball should be absolute. Then we want the bottom of the ball also should be 100 pixels. Now we want the ball should move from right, okay, from right to left. So we want the right should be negative, what? The right should be negative 50. And in addition to that, also what we also want is that we want to create the ball. Remember, the ball is in a circle shape. Okay, so as the ball is in a circle shape, for us to get a circle shape, we need to put the ball in square. Then we cannot turn it to be a circle. Let's look at how that is being done. So as we type the width, we make it 50 pixels. Then we do height. The height will also be 50 pixels. Then remember, the ball, the color was color blue, so we give it a background and give the ball color blue. So in our text editor, what we'll do is that we're going to say color, sorry, the background, and we say the background should be what? Blue. Then we go ahead and then remember that we've put the ball in a square, so we want to turn it circle, so we have to say border radius 50%. And that would turn the square to rounded. Now let's do some animation here. So we say animate, and we'll say it should be roll, like it should roll in 8 seconds, and it should be in line, and it should be infinite. Okay, done. Then after we are done, now we are going to use the keyframe. Okay, that will then put the ball to roll from the right to the left. Okay, so to do that, what we do is that we scroll down here. Now when you do all this, okay, and save that, the ball will not appear on your road. Let me show you something. When I click on file and click on save, all what we did here, because we animated, it's not going to display on the road. Let's go to the browser and let's look at something. Now you can see this is my browser and my car is moving. When I refresh, you can see my car is just moving and the ball is hidden because I have not given it an animation. So to animate the ball to move from the right to the left, I need to make sure that I use a keyframe to call the ball to roll from the right, okay, which is 50%, and then to the left, which is going to be rotate 110%. Okay, that is 110%. That's the whole concept. Okay, having understood this, let's move to the text editor. Now in my text editor, as I just said, I'm going to use my keyframe to animate the ball. So I'll put a cursor here, press enter, then I'll say my keyframe, now I'll say roll, and I'll say it should be 100%, 0%, and right should be minus 50 pixels. Then the rotation should take effect 100%. Right from right should be 110%. Done. Now when I click on file and click on save and I go to my browser and then I refresh, you can see the ball will be coming from from the right to the left. Okay, let's look at that. Now when I refresh, you see my ball is coming, and you can see, so they are all passing by. Okay, now we've seen that concept by what? By bringing our ball to the road whilst the car is also passing. Now we want to give an animation to the car. Now how do we want to animate this car? Remember, the whole concept is that when the car then meets the ball, then there should be a description saying game over. Okay, when they crash, it should be game over. But we want to animate the car so the car can jump over the ball. Okay, so let's first put that effect into action. Then we will look at how best we can then create a JS script where when the car hits the ball, it's going to be game over. Okay, let's look at that. So in my text editor, what I'll do again is that now, because I want the car to do it, to jump over the ball, what I'm going to do is I need to move to where we have car, and in the car I'm going to use, okay, I'm going to write some effects that is going to take place for the car jumping. Now when you scroll down here, you can see that the car, I give it a name as car. All this is the car element, all this make the car. So I give it a class and I call it what? Car. You can see it here, car. So I'll screw up in my CSS. Here you can see that I give it a name, what? Car. Okay, now I give it what? An animation, and I said that animation drive should be 10% and it should be infinite. But I like to do some transition, and I'll do it transform. Okay, and I'll say the transformation should be 0.5 seconds and it should be ease. So I'll put a cursor here first and press enter. Then I'll say Armstrong Coding Club, be a coding pro, like the future. Come on, let's go, Armstrong Coding Club, take control, digits and lines, make the whole, 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 make the whole. Okay, now after I'm done, now because I want the car, okay, to jump over, how they call it, the ball, anytime I press any key, I'll put the cursor here and press enter. Then I'll go and say dot car. Remember that I gave it a name as car, so I'll say dot car and bring my current bracket, press enter. I'll say dot car, you should transform okay. Now before the car will transform, the whole concept car, I would like you to jump. Okay, I want the car to jump, so car, so jump. Okay, car jump. So it's going to be okay, it's going to be car so car dot jump. Okay, car dot jump. Okay, so car jump, so transform and then translate. And that translation should be minus 100 pixels. Okay, 100 pixels. Click on file, click on save. Now let's go to the browser. So in my browser, you can see the car is coming. When I refresh, the car is coming. When I press the space bar, you see that the car is not jumping. See, so we need to come and write our JS script. Now we've given an effect to the car by saying that the car should jump when anytime a key is pressed. So we need to come down and write our JS script and then come and call this, okay, this and this in the JavaScript, that when we press any key the car should jump. So how do we do that? We'll scroll down here, just down below the body, put the cursor here and go ahead and press enter. Now it's just like we writing our CSS where we brought the style. So when writing JavaScript, you need to bring what script. So you have to say anchor and say script. And you bring the open tag and the closing tag of the script. Press enter. We are writing inline script. So now we are going to call the car. And we say car is equal to document
Armstrong Coding Club Hearts of Gold.
is equal to document.get element, and that element will give it an ID, and that ID is going to be car, which indeed we gave in the CSS. Done. Then we'll say the window dot add the event, for instance, list open parenthesis. So when any key is pressed, so when I press any key, so key down, comma, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, and that should be equal to my current bracket. Press enter, then say if. So writing an if statement, if car dot class, the car class, if car dot class list, okay, should then jump. So when we press any key, it should then jump. Okay, then we'll say then the set time set timeout should be equal to car list, car class, should be car class, car dot class list should be removed. remove jump. So that it should echo the jump, so you should remove the jump. And we want the jump should take an effect of let's say 500, so it can go up, up and up and up and up, kind of nice. So after we are done here, now what we are going to do is just simple. Now when you watch very carefully, we open the code here, and this code must have a closing quote, this closing quote, and the last one that control the entire code must have, we open a parenthesis also here. So this parenthesis must close this parenthesis here also. So let's close that parenthesis one and bring our curly bracket. But you can see that we closing the parenthesis is having an effect. So let's see what. Okay, so you can see that this key parenthesis must control this. We need to take off this parenthesis here, and when we take off that parenthesis there, this means that this parenthesis, the key down parenthesis, is now operating here. This is it, that is controlling that. Okay, now after taking that from the way, when we click on file and click on save, so make sure that okay, there was a parenthesis here, take that parenthesis off, then you will not have that effect. So each will be matching each. Click on file and click on save, switch to your browser, and now when you press any key, you see that it will now, your car will now jump over the ball. So in my browser, when I refresh, now when I press any key on the keyboard, check it out, you can see it's jumping over the ball. The car is jumping over the ball. See, so when it's come again and I press the space, the car jump, so you can go up, 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 up. Done. So basically that is just that, and you can see that everything is jumping when I press any key, the car jump. So thank you guys so much for watching. In our next lesson, we are going to look at when the car and the ball crashes, it should give us game over. Okay, so basically that is just that.
Step into the zone, we crack the code. Binary poetry, let's decode. Loops and statements, let's flow and grow. Armstrong Coding Club, here we go. Armstrong Coding Club, be a coding pro. Like the future, come on, let's go. Armstrong Coding